Hello everybody, and welcome back to Oakbridge. So, it's May. Last episode we finished that large field of grass and rode it up, ready to turn. It's going to be made into silage, so that's not massively a problem that it's hailing at the minute, same as it wasn't that much of a problem that it rained last night so much. So I'm not too bothered by that. The quandary I've got is what's going to be the best way of getting the grass up, because we've got quite a lot of open field area now that we've got an actual grass field. We've got some decent sized patches of grasses, and then we've got that meadow that we've just cut in the last field. This will pick up grass, this bad boy, but as we found out in the failure of the last episode, it won't pull any trailers, which is a shame. So I've brainstormed and come up with at least 2, possibly 3 options. The store, I've got us some things that we've managed to get hold of to lease. I'm sure one of them we have tried before, but I can't remember how well it worked and whether we used it for this job, because it's a bit of a multi-tool. So first things first, these badgers we've already agreed to sell to the store. They're going to take them in. We don't need them. Let's not bother. We got debts. We'll repaint it. We've not done anything to it, but we'll repaint it. 14 grand on that. 8 grand. Well, suddenly feel like I've had a bit of a win there. Ran out of sunflower seeds, so I need a new box for that. This is a bale stripper. Quite common. Only one in the game though. We have used this before. This is a pickup that goes on to this, which I'm hoping this will connect to a trailer, although looking at it, it's a bit small. If it does, happy days. If it doesn't, it's one of the options straight out of the window. The other option is the hay fork, which will A up. Do that. There we go. And then fold it. Ooh, he's just appeared out of the doorway. So, there we go. I'll tell you what, I better chuck a strap over that. That looks a little bit precarious. I'll be out in the Unimog for a bit of a run. Why not? Why not? Busy this morning stacking my pallets of our wood products on. Quite a bit of work to get done last night. absolute beast of a machine. I'm going to miss this when when Kinlake starts. Which obviously it is out, it's fully out and well up and running. However, I'm not starting it just yet. Although, by the time this releases, probably will be 1 or 2 episodes out. But I'm delaying starting recording it whilst I give it time for any issues that need ironing out. You know, in anticipation. Like, I don't know, gates that don't open on fields for contracts. Those sort of things. Oh, we've got some produce from our garden. What should I do first? Part of me, let's just see if this will connect to start off with. I'm not necessarily going to use this to do the job. I think it might be a bit big. Obviously, oh my. Anyway, let me unplug that and plug it back in, see if I've crashed it. No, I've not. Scared to plug it in now. Ooh. Right, let's see if that's fixed that. I don't know if that'll fit actually. There's a farmer has got an independent one that we can borrow. That we can use the attacher on it. You pig. Oh, maybe I've just not lined it up. He said, hoping. Oh, yes. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to do it with all of that. Drop that off. What should we do first then? I sort of think that maybe let's do a bale of grass and see if we can we should just be then able to split it. I've had to get a load of diesel delivered this morning, so let's go and get the baler and have a look at that. Let's check the fields. There's no weeds in this field, is there? I think we got lucky there. I don't think there's any weeds in our cornfield either. I tell you what, this might take a while. Let me. Time on the recording may be a bit tight, so shall I? I'll drive and get that, and I'll come back to you. Nice. I didn't need anything this big. I could have took a smaller tractor out for it, couldn't I? Ah well, this needed fueling up anyway. I'm only going to do the one just to start off with. Also, I remembered that there's another grass field, isn't there? there's this one here on the left as well. So we have got quite a bit of grass field action, which makes sense because we're going to have quite a lot of cows to feed, as well as sheep and goats, so does make sense. But that also means we could do with finding a way of dealing with making silage. Okay, where's where the hell is that? When did I release that? Interesting. It said the hail was going to stop by 9 o'clock. Why is it there? I wonder if I must have caught something. How embarrassing. Oh, a start to the episode, that is. Drag it over. Sort of. Oh, I've used my mirror this time so I can see it at the back of me all the time. Too busy chatting, I weren't focusing, was I? Where was I? Yeah, so we need a solution. Obviously you got to weigh up if you're going to make bales and then immediately strip them. That's going to take time, as opposed to just putting it straight into pickup, which is why I'm going to try this out first, mainly to see if it works. A quick look. Have we got options on the sizes, or are we just a standard size? So, lower, turn on. Now I think our hay grab sits at 3,500 litres, our hay fork, because that's an option, is just scooping it with a hay fork and putting it in. Time consuming, but you see already I'm tempted to say we'd have just put that straight in the trailer at this point. It's the same amount on size. Let's just go and drop it off hither. The hail does look good, I must say. That looks nice. drag that into there for now. Well, if one thing, we have used the baler. Let's call that 1500 litres in there. It's more than that, isn't it? Let's call it 15,000 litres in there, sorry. 1500. Silly goose. Right. Unfold. Lower. Raise it up. Oh yes, that's not too bad actually. I quite like that. Oh. Where's it gone? All gone. Actually quite pleased with that splitter. It's only a couple of grand. However, let's now attempt this big rig. Also needing fuel. That's height wise isn't working really, is it, on that? Wonder if this doesn't work, if it's worth me having a word with that farmer and borrowing his setup. Right, unfold, pipe out. I think there's a bit of turning. Lower. I mean, that is working. That certainly is working. That's not. It's not the biggest pickup though, is it? Wasn't that the problem before? The pickup wasn't great on it. I mean, it's not bad though. At this point, I mean, when we get to the bends, which we'll be coming up to, that could provide a bit of an issue, as well as backing up to drop off, because we'll be fully cantilevered, won't we? I'm not put off by this, I have to say though. I mean, you could run through, stick it into bales, and then just come back at your leisure and split them. You could trailer's having a bit of a bounce as we get up over that crest. I can't even see a thing. You'll certainly have a lot of tidying up to do, and as the weight builds up, it is having a wee struggle. Again, that pickup's not great, but I am wondering, should I run up and see if that other farmer will lend us, if we can pay him a bit of cash and borrow that. I think he did before and we didn't end up using it for the mowing of this field. I'm sure he'll let us borrow it for the pickup. The problem is there. Turning. Reversing that back in is going to be a problem. You're going to have to drop it. You have to drop it and come back with a different vehicle for it. And it's not exactly handsome on the setup with that barely reaching over there, is it? Yeah, I tell you what, I'm gonna ring him up, see if I can go and borrow his forage pickup again. That's not gonna work, is it? Oh, it has. I've made it. Crikey. But then the bale thing did work. I just don't think it's any quicker than... Although you're picking up everything, aren't you? This has really got me in a tiz. Let me get this done and fill this up, and I'll go and speak to him, and then I'll go and there's absolutely no way I'd attempt to back this all in one go. It just wouldn't happen. You'd have to keep decoupling and coupling up again. But yeah, let me go back to the house, and I'll ring him up, see if I can head up and borrow that off him. We give this grass a little bit of time to dry out, get a bit of the moisture off it. Absolute diamond, that chap. He says he never uses it, so he's happy to loan it out to us if we want it. Didn't actually want that much money for it either, to be fair. And I mean, if it does the job, it does the job. The other setup was okay. I just feel in a shorter field with a tighter turn. There's me. And hey up. That's upside down now. I must have caught it with wait, it does fit on this, doesn't it? Yeah. Whew. Tell you what though, 3.6 isn't really the length that we've got a bigger size than that, although we wouldn't have to row it. I'm thinking out loud. Give it a nudge this way. Right, this. Don't go into me crop. How the hell am I meant to get that if I can't flip it? The sound as it changes gear. I'm gonna have to go and get. I'm gonna have to go and get me skid steer and flip it over, and I. Back in a minute. Better. Now that reminds me, there is another option of doing this task, and that is, I think, there we go. That is, I think, our muck spreader can be converted into like a fodder mixer. Oh yes, that's got a much better pipe out. Can't see anything. Better. Yeah, there's another issue. You see, your up and downs. Your up and downs will be a problem because the turning circle. And the pickup is quite small, isn't it? Tell you what, it's 25 past. Not worth measuring how long it takes to fill up this trailer. And then try it with the hay fork. I'm sort of thinking the hay fork now might be a slightly better option, especially on the fence. But then if you had this, you could probably stick a mower on it and do your headlands on all your fields quite easily. And we'll call it half past, and we'll try and do it on actual strips. So with this you're going to miss quite a lot. Oh, the turn's not too bad on it though. I'm getting on that. Yeah, we are missing quite a bit. Let's have some music and speed this up. So, as you will clearly see, that I have decided to continue with this setup. It was slightly longer than using the pickup, if I'm honest. I think by pickup was what, 20-25 minutes, this was 30-35 minutes, so in game to fill that trailer. Although surprisingly, for some reason, the trailer won't fill off this, which is why we got both trailers out. But I guess it goes to show, I mean, it's horses for courses, isn't it? Yes, it's easier to, it's quicker to fill the trailer up by just dragging it around. But then the pickup on this is bigger, so you don't end up having to go back over yourself. And then, I suppose if you've got the time, if you just needed to get these baled up, although you're paying for the wrap as well, you just do it in a baler, and then, which I wouldn't rule out doing at another point, and then just bring in, just putting them in the pit in the dark where you've got a bit better lighting, I suppose, if you're running out of time for the day. Definitely more time consuming, there's no doubt about it, because you've got to stop every time that baler's full, unload. You've got to get it off the field as well before then collecting it again to do the do. And all the bits on this side I'm not confident I've got, but that's just a patch of scrubland that I'm not really interested in at this point. But we can go and find out how much grass we got off this field. I think the pull along harvester could be quite useful, but the little forage, the only is it? The self-powered one is decent that we've borrowed off the old boy, because what's really good about that, this needs a bit of repair work. What's good about that is you can't go around and cut the headlands because it's a forage cutter, so it won't do it. You could do your grass field, for instance, if we churned all this up and turned it into a grass field, we could do it. But then there's a split there, because if you were to do that, oh, this did fill up. If you were to do that, then the mower size is smaller, but you don't have to I guess you don't have to bother windrowing and collecting it. I might have a word with him. I might attempt to get some cuts done on the next episode. Yeah, I might have a word with him, see if we can just keep hold of it. It is important to try and get this first cut in this time of the year, so we can get more in later. Obviously we want to try and get ourselves as healthy as possible before the end year, when I'm planning to finish the series, because then we'll be into Kinlake, but that's still quite a while away. There's still a lot to get done. Pay the loan and get ourselves back into a decent financial position. But equipment wise, I'd be tempted to try out his setup. I would be very tempted to try it out. This just not. It's not being able to do headland, that's the problem. That's where it's narking at me. But I think we've had a decent cut off that. Obviously we'd get better if it was a field, and we could have put workers on it, but I don't see the point. I think I'm quite happy to keep it just as a field for now. I mean, if we'd got £500,000 plus to start with, this would have been perfect for building our farm on. I'd say that I'm quite happy with the farm that we've got. I like the fact we've got two separate areas and we're having to move between the two. It's quite similar to some areas that I go to. One farmer and he's got it spread out. So how many different ways have we done that? One with the baler, one with the pull behind, one with the fixer up. We could have done it with the manure spreader converted over, I think. Not 100% sure, but that would have required just bales and splitting it over anyway. So the bale shredder I was actually quite impressed with. I might be tempted to purchase that just for animal feed and things. And we will be getting use out of the baler because we'll be getting straw this year, so that's not too shabby at all. The big takeaway I would say from it is that we should have never have got rid of the pickup, because that would have made this get done a hell of a lot quicker, because that had got a much bigger pickup on it. But I'll say the biggest mistake I've made in this series. However, there has been a lot. You decide. Anyway, just before we finish, let's have a look at how much we got off that field. We're 15,000 to start from, and we're at 136. So I'd say 120,000 litres off the field, which I think is actually quite happy with that. I'm very happy with that, in fact. Yeah, that's very good. For just a meadow of extra. I mean, that's more than enough to feed our cattle at the minute for the year, if we done hay and silage off it, and then we've got the other two fields. So that's basically just going to make us money if that's just used for silage. That's really good. I suppose we could use We could work on getting some hay in, couldn't we? I'd have to have a look at the numbers on that. But that is where we shall leave today's episode. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please drop us a like. If you're not subscribed yet, feel free to hit the subscribe button. And if you've got any comments or suggestions going forward, then please do not hesitate to pop them in the comments section below. Until the next time, I'm going to come and sit in my garden with a cup of tea and pick a few more bits of veg. Bye bye for now.